Hello and thanks for staying with us. Goods worth over 617 billion naira intercepted by Oyo and Osun Customs Command. Also on Customs report, more revenue generation as approved by Nigerian Customs Service Management. Plus more report. I am Egiseme Edinye. Stay tuned. The Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service has stated that the customs will continue to collect more revenue for the government till the end of this year. The customs boss made a comment when he was briefing the House on customs matters in Abuja. He told them that the service will also implement laws as approved by the government.
This is one of the biggest challenges Nigerian Customs has, and I don't think it's only Nigerian Customs Service, it's the global problem to all customs administrations. Even the most advanced customs administrations suffer the calamities of smuggling because of the penchant of our people to move across items that are either prohibited on prohibition list or those that would attract the duty, but for some reason they evade the duty. So this is not only our problem, but it's a global problem. And in Nigeria, ours is even the worst because our people are the most non-compliant group of people. I must say this and say it with all sense of responsibility. If we measure in terms of compliance, our people are not ready to comply. And therefore, you find out that for every 10 container that we examine, you hardly find 5, in most cases, that are fully in line with declaration. The rest are either underdeclared, in connivance between the importers, the freight forwarders, and of course our officers in some cases. So this is one of the fundamental reasons why smuggling still continues to strive. Along our borders, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, we have put in place what we feel is adequate in terms of managing smuggling. We have a 3-layer enforcement. We have the area commands that are deployed in the borders. We have the federal operation units, and we have the strike force, which are always on standby for any credible information to strike. These have yielded adequate result, but certainly that has not curbed smuggling. And I must say here, Mr. Chairman, that for us to stop smuggling completely is probably unheard of. But we are working assiduously to reduce it to the barest minimum. And we need a lot of other input in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, and of course, most importantly, Mr. Chairman, is that I've said this in so many forums, and I will repeat it here, is that the non-cooperation of our border citizens is one of our biggest problems. And I don't blame them, because when you go to these border communities, Mr. Chairman, you find out that in most cases, there's no governance, there's no presence of government there. Today, Coca-Cola is produced in Nigeria and paying no excise. It's only in Nigeria that you find Coca-Cola products and they're not paying excise duty. All other carbonated drinks are also injurious to our health. So if we equally tax tobacco and alcoholic beverages, I see no reason why we should not tax the carbonated drinks. We have said this for the past 5 years I've been on this seat. And up to today, we have not been able to get it through. Why? The reason why, I don't know. So, Mr. Chairman, my submission is simple. We will continue to rely on the unpredictable atmosphere to collect as much as we can, but for us to be precise and more predictable, I think we must pay more attention to our industries and extract excise from them. That will be more predictable and much more realizable. And of course, for every import duty we collect, we are, as a matter of fact, encouraging other countries to produce. For every import that comes into our country, it is our money that goes out to finance those factories and give jobs to their own people. Whereas in our case, we are not producing. So, Mr. Chairman, to say this is that the National Assembly should also help and see how, on the whole, totality of it, we can encourage domestic production, because that is the only way we can sustain our economy and, of course, sustain the revenue collection for the Nigerian Customs Service.
He commended the war against smuggling, saying that the service will continue to do more against smuggling in the country.
Why are we having problem meeting our target? And despite the fact that the National Assembly has put in everything that is necessary to get us moving and collecting the targeted revenue. Mr. Chairman, let me start by saying, unlike my brother in the NNPC, the job of customs is unpredictable. We rely on the market forces that drives the import of items into Nigeria. And as of today, Mr. Chairman, the bulk of our revenue comes from import. In most climes where the customs collect revenue, they rely mostly on excise. And that means the production within the country. Today in Nigeria, as you know very well, Mr. Chairman, the only excise we are authorized to collect is on tobacco and alcoholic beverages.
The Customs Management has said that the recent employment in the Nigerian Customs Service went through due process. The Customs Commissioner stated this when he visited the office of the Federal Character Commission in Abuja. He stated that he extended on the employment to all the states and local government in the country.
What did we decide to do as the Nigerian Customs Service? Is to look at the states now and look at the population of every state in the Nigerian Customs Service. So if Bayelsa has a minimum number of states, then we'll go back to Bayelsa and pick their candidate to make up. So we'll look at what is the balance which are the states that have minimum number of people. That's how we allocate those balances to those states who are disadvantaged in terms of number in the Nigerian Customs Service. And third, that is the fairest we can do.
The executive chairman of the commission has this to say.
These experts, I want to appeal to you, sir, to tell your staff, let them work hands in hands with us. If you want to do your exercise or anything you have to do, just call us. The committee members, they will come over and check along with you. So I want you to have us to be able to give the answers.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Nigerian Customs Service has continued to urge private aircraft operators and chartered flight operators in the country to come forward and show their documentation. The Deputy Controller in charge of PRO stated, saying that the customs will continue to implement government policies without fear or favor. He has this to say on government directives.
Between the 7th of June and the 6th of August this year, we requested for all private airline operators to come to the Tariff and Trade Department of the Nigerian Customs Service for the verification of all their import documents. And this exercise which spanned about a month, eventually resulted in 86 private jets and aircraft operators, coming to the Nigerian Customs Service to show us the kind of documents that they use in bringing in their aircrafts into the country. Also, the exercise revealed that of this number, 57 of them were verified as commercial charter operators, and these commercial charter operators had no problem with their documentation, and they were given a clean bill of health, and were also advised to proceed to the Tariff and Trade Department to get their certificate of clearance. The other group were 29 private jet and aircraft owners who were found to be liable to pay customs duties. Now, this group where their aircrafts were valued, and the appropriate duty for them was captured, and the DNs raised. And in a subsequent pronouncement, they were also advised to proceed to the Tariff and Trade Department to pay the duty that were assigned to them as per the value ascribed to their various aircrafts. As I said earlier, of this 86 number, the 57 and the 29 that had been attended to, the service also found another group. We had 62 private aircraft operators who, throughout the exercise, did not show up. They didn't show up at all. But we had details of their documents from the supervising department, and we published those details in the newspapers, in 3 national newspapers. And
the Customs Area Controller in charge of PTLM has urged all agents operating at the port to always come forward with clear documents before their consignments are released to them. So the command will continue to meet their revenue targets every month as approved by the management. It speaks more on revenue generation in the zone.
Yeah, when I'm talking customs, I'm talking when a trader comes into the customs zone. That's once you make declaration, you have come into the customs zone, and within that period, immediately you come into that customs zone, you can leave customs zone within that 4 hours. You can now move to the terminal operators area, which is now out of the purview of the Nigerian Customs Service. However, because of the seamless way we'll be working together, even I can say emphatically, somebody came around here on Monday to start the clearance of a vehicle, a Toyota Tundra. He made declaration in the morning, and by evening he was saying thank you to the command. He has taken his vehicle. That happened on Monday, 18th of October 2021. Without doubt, you can take your vehicle within 24 hours. And even if our system is profiled, there will be empirical evidence to that effect that this is happening and it will continue to happen as long as people are compliant. And I think this must have reflected here, where in 2020, we had 97,361 units. And look at this year, we have had 171,491 units. So something must have been the attraction. We have the pull factor, and that's a pull factor, our efficiency.
According to him, the first 9 months of 2020, the command processed 97,361 vehicles, showing a difference of 74,120 units. He urged smugglers of vehicles across the border to desist from such practice, saying that the command will also provide a clear atmosphere of trade and ease of doing business.
When I resumed here, it was a battle because we put up our structure to make sure that people are compliant, and we had so much trouble to make people to comply, and we were having a lot of friction. But for our tenacity of purpose, we insisted that the right thing must be done. People tried to circumvent the processes and procedure, but we made sure that people were penalized when we were caught. So there was a time we were having an avalanche of files going to enforcement for various infractions, fake documents, altered documents, mutilated documents. But now, in a week, we might not have 10, 20 of such issues, whereas previously, it was a major problem. Yes, you see, there is what we call environmental determinism and environmental possibilism. When the environment tries to force certain things on you, you become ingenious so that you make sure that some things are possible. So that's what we did at a stage, even though the situation has improved. But there was a time that we discovered that during the night, it was easier to take delivery of these vehicles. So what we did was to put our men and officers on duty during that period, working with the terminal operators, that we worked throughout the night. Because at that time, it was discovered that it was easier for these vehicles to move out of the terminal to their destinations. And that greatly helped us. So we're able to adapt ourselves and be ingenious to see how we can make the best use of the worst situation.
He said that a total of 115 vessels battered as at the end of third quarter 2020, while 135 battered at the port as at the ending of September 2021. For containers, a total of 26,613 boxes were processed by the end of September 2021, while 23,300 were processed last year, same period. The total revenue collected so far for this year is put at 165 billion naira collected for the government for the period of 9 months. The Oyo and Osun Command has impounded 500 bags of foreign rice in the residential building in Osun State. So the command made another seizures of 617 billion naira from assorted contraband items seized by the command.
Today, as part of the aforementioned display, before you are array of seizures, 5,046 times 50 kg bags of foreign purple rice, 22 braids of second-hand clothing, 1 unit of 2017 Honda Accord car, 1 unit of 2020 Toyota Prado Jeep, 500 by 25-liter kegs of petroleum motor spirit, otherwise known as PMS.
According to him, the Oyo and Osun Command will not relent in its effort to combat the menace of smuggling in Osun State. He urged smugglers to stop attacking officers performing their lawful duties.
You should be informed that Section 158 of SEMA gives custom officers the power to patrol freely across the nation. I would like to appreciate the patriotic citizens who have contributed to ensuring that we achieve the success that we have recorded so far.
He further warned smugglers who block the routes and other access points to refrain from the act, saying that such act is punishable under Section 1 of SEMA, Cap 45, 2004. The management of Nigerian Customs Service has handed over 10 brand new vehicles to Oyo and Osun Command to fight smuggling along the nation's borderline. The vehicles will also enable the command to police all the borders in Osun and Oyo Command axis. The command also generated 50 billion naira into the Federation account, while a total of 617 million naira of goods were seized by the command.
In my press briefing, this is the good gesture that the CGC has given to us. It further boosts our morale and increase our anti-smuggling drive. So with this, no officer will not put on his very best. Because the only way you can appreciate the good gesture is to show the amount of seizure we can record. And as I've told you, that even this early morning, some of the vehicles were used on a strong, very strong intelligence. Immediately they got the intelligence, they moved out with this vehicle, during a twinkling of an eye, they made market seizure of about 500 bags of foreign purple rice. And these officers need to be actually appreciated and commended, because for almost 2 days they've not slept. And I'm pleading to my CGC, because I know he has a very large heart, and his management team. If this officer can be appreciated by way of motivating them.
The Federal Operation Unit Zone B has received 13 brand new vehicles from the management of Nigerian Customs Service in Abuja. The vehicles will enable the units to increase the capacity to track economic saboteurs in the region. The Customs boss has this to say on the vehicles handed over to his command.
In the wisdom of the Controller General of Customs, and in order to improve our capacity in our anti-smuggling operation, he decided and approved the release of 13 operational vehicles as you can see them. I'm pretty sure by the time I deploy these vehicles today, the story will change. All those areas that we have been incapacitated to visit will be there, and we will get them. We promise and ensure the vehicle will be used as directed. The drivers and the patrol operators, leaders, must ensure these vehicles are maintained very well, so that its own durability will last for a very long time. We are happy to receive these items from the Controller of Customs, and we assure Nigerians that Customs, in our own way, we will double our effort to ensure those illicit items that are coming to Nigeria are reduced to the barest minimum level.
Just before the end of this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where goods worth over 600 million naira was intercepted by the Oyo Oshu Command in Oyo State. For me, Igeseme Itinye, thanks for watching.